Cool.
So the VS Code hint, tip, and trick of the week is because I had to run into this. I don't know what I did, Dan, but
Hmm.
I was trying to do some box lane development, and the Java extensions just would not start. It would start up and
Okay.
it would say, we're in lightweight mode, which means really you get syntax highlighting. That's it. And I'm
And that's
used
it.
to now like being able to click run tests in the gutter and to like
Mhm.
command click on something and it takes me to the function that's doing it and like auto import, all the fun stuff. And it just wasn't
Nice.
working and I couldn't get it. I'd even like disable all the other extensions, just not working.
Mhm.
So I did the nuclear option and I trashed VS Code and my VS Code home directory, and I started from
Wow.
scratch.
Okay.
And it's painful because I realize all the time, like, why isn't this keyboard shortcut working? Oh yeah, I
Oh,
changed
because I made it and now it's gone.
that. So I've been doing that. But one thing that's been nice has been
Mhm.
trying to set up VS Code profiles. The idea
Okay.
here is you have different tasks you try to accomplish, and it could be I'm Java programming now, I'm
Mhm.
ColdFusion or Boxling programming now, I'm in JavaScript.
Mhm.
It could be I'm
Right.
writing a novel in VS Code, and I want it
Right.
to, have certain extensions and certain settings. I'm writing docs, and I want the markdown stuff and the font to change and the text to be bigger. All those things you can handle through profiles. And lately, they've added a nice UI, which is why I wanted to bring this up. In the last release, there's an experimental UI you can enable where you can name it, you can choose which settings are applied to each, you can have extensions applied to certain profiles. I have one that I've been playing with for when I do like CFcast videos so that I can get really big screen and very minimal stuff so you can just see the code. Just really
Sweet.
neat. A way to organize all those. You can access it. Profiles have been around for a while. The new
Mhm.
UI is as of this last month. So make sure you're up to date and you'll be able to access that and see if profiles help you out like they've been helping me out.
That is very cool. Yeah, there's so much VS Code that you just don't even know where to start half the time. But this looks very handy.
I'm still surprised that it's as fast as it is. I mean, I know there's
Yeah.
faster. Every time I go back to Sublime Text, I cry a little bit about how quick it comes up. Um,
Right.
but
Then you try to
VS
do something that it doesn't do, and you're like, oh, that's why it's fast.
for me, I know it's such a
Mhm.
stupid like killer app, if you will. It's the terminal. I don't want a different
Mhm.
terminal application. I just want it at the bottom of my little screen. And for
Yep.
whatever reason, that's still not something that Sublime does. There's like extensions that try to, but they're just not
Right.
good. And I'm like, I don't know, Sublime Text 5, put a terminal in and I might be back.
There we go.
So
That
I know
works.
you're a JetBrains guy. So when we talk about how long something takes to start up, you're just like, don't talk to me.
Actually, it's funny. Up until I would say December, I was, and I still use it. There's some Git tools that JetBrains has that are phenomenal. Be able to compare between branches and all kinds of stuff. But I've been trying to go VS Code because I wanted to be with the cool kids, and
Goodness.
it's good. I mean, I like it. There's a couple, like I said, there's a couple things I don't like as much, but for the most part, and you know, it didn't cost me the $180 that I had to pay for the license and stuff. Although I'm also realizing that sometimes if you have a good feature, it might be worth the money and stuff. But it's going
Yeah.
well. I like it.
I do actually. I've have the JetBrains IntelliJ community installed. Again,
Mhm.
sometimes for boxling development, I'll tell you, JetBrains' refactor tools are just
Mhm.
above the rest.
Yeah.
Like I can go in and I say, this is the thing I want to rename, and not only is it's like a find and replace in the file, but it's smart and knows what variable. It's looking in other files where I passed it in differently.
Yeah.
It's great.
I
If you've ever
agreed.
wanted to rename a method name and you're like, I don't know where I use this, like that's
Mhm.
one tool. Now I know that's possible with VS Code and like the language servers, and
Mhm.
seeing that it is something that could come to Boxlang, and so I got my fingers crossed for that one day.
Awesome. Yeah. For me, the big jump going from IntelliJ to a VS Code was that it didn't like Arrow, yeah. So IntelliJ didn't think that ColdFusion could do arrow functions. So whenever I wrote an arrow function or came across one in the code, it would flag it as an error. So I'd have a huge line, huge, just long lines of code that would come back as an error, and I'm like, no, it's not. And I just got on a project where they were everywhere, and I was like, okay, I need to make the jump to arrow functions, and I obviously can't do it with what I'm using now. So
there you go.
But it works.
There's only one place to get the boxlang extension right now, and that is VSCode.
That is VSCode. That is true.
That was our VSCode hint, tip, and trick of the week. Brought to you by Modernize or Die podcast, CFML News Edition, proudly sponsored by Order Solutions. You can see the new episodes every week on cfmlnews.modernizeordie.io or on the Order Solutions YouTube channel.